Hello, my name is Amangelde Qıza Adema from the group SA2106. Today I will defend the second assignment. So let's start. First one, it is sociological imagination. In the 21st century, our world has many challenges and opportunities. We see fast changes, conflicts, and divisions among people and worries about the environment. But we also have changes to make a better future. Why is our world so different from our grandparents' time? That's what sociology studies. Sociology is like science that looks at how people live together in groups and societies. It helps us understand why we act the way we do when we are with others. It also shows us things is normal or true might not be that way for everyone. So sociology asks us to look at our lives in a bigger way. Sociology asks us to use our sociological imagination. It's like thinking outside the box. For example, even something simple like drinking coffee that we see in Gideon's book can be important in sociology. It's not just about the taste, it's about how people do it together, the caffeine in it, how it connects people from all over the world, and how it's linked to bigger. So it's about human rights and the environment. Also, sociology helps us see that things we think of as our own problems, like getting divorced or losing a job can also be big issues that affect many people. It helps understand how our background and where we came from can affect the choices we make. So next it is major sociology theories. This is about major social theories. It is about key points of approach, also main theorists explanation of society. It's second is founding fathers of socialism and the contribution of science, Comte, Durkheim, and Weber. So first one, it is Auguste Comte. Auguste Comte was a French thinker who played a big part in starting sociology. He is known for coming up with the word sociology and thinking of it as a science like physics or chemistry. He wanted sociology to find universal rules that control society. So Comte's idea was based on positivism, which means using facts and the scientific methods to study society. He had a theory called law of three stages, which said people's understanding of the world goes from religious. So he thought sociology was important in the scientific stage. After Comte, we have Durkheim. Durkheim also was a famous French sociologist, made important contributions to sociology. Unlike Comte, he wanted sociology to be a scientific discipline. He thought about social facts, which are things outside of us, how we act. So Durkheim believed that society needs to stick together to stay stable, and he talked about two kinds of solidarity. One is mechanical solidarity, where people are similar and believe the same things. The other is organic solidarity, where people depend on each other because of their jobs. So next one, it is about Weber. So Weber, Karl Marx. Karl Marx was a thinker in the 18th who wanted to understand how society changed during the Industrial Revolution. His ideas were different from Comte and Durkheim. They also explained the big changes happening. Marx was into politics and spent time in Britain, where he saw factories and the inequality. He wrote about sociality, a lot of ideas, why they are important, and so on. One big idea was about capitalism. He said that money and the people who work for wages are the most important things in capitalism. He calls the people who own things capitalists and the people who work for them workers. And he divided people into groups like workers and capitalists. So he looked at in different times in history, like when people lived in small groups or in kingdoms, and said that eventually he thought that would be more fair and efficient. So Karl Marx's ideas are important to understand how the world has changed because of things like factories and jobs. He saw the world in different way, and his ideas still matter today. So next one, it is major sociology theories. Our fathers of sociology like Comte, Durkheim, Weber wanted to find how society works and why it changes. So by them, three big ideas came out of their work. First is functionalism theory, second conflict approach, third and symbolic interactionism. These ideas are linked to Durkheim, Marx and Weber, respectively. Functionalism looks at society like a big machine where different parts work together. To make it work, it studies how things we do help society keep going. It also says that people need to agree on some basic rules. For a long time, this was the main way people studied sociology. But some people didn't like functionalism because it didn't talk about things like inequality or social changes. It only looked at how things stay the same. Second one is conflict approach theory. The conflict approach theory is different. It says that society has lots of groups with different interests, and sometimes they fight for what they want. This can lead to unfairness and some people having more power and money than others. People who like conflict theory think it is important to look at the struggles between the groups. Marxism. So Marxism is a kind of conflict theory that talks about class struggle, but not all conflict theories are the same. some like Ralph and Dagendorf, look at what Weber said about power and authority, and so on. So third, our theory, it is about interactionism theory, symbolic interactionism. The third big idea comes from Max Weber. It's about how we use language and symbols to understand each other. Symbols are things like words and gestures. Жесты, получается. Мы используем их для того, чтобы interaction with other people. This way of looking at things focuses on how people talk each other and what they mean. But some people say it doesn't talk enough about power and how society makes us act in certain ways. So one of the example symbolic interactionism looking at power and structure is a study Ellie Hochschild. She looked at how flight attendants were trained to control their feelings when happening passengers. This example we can see in the book. So this work shows how symbolic interactionism can help us understand complex human behavior, even when emotions are managed differently in different cultures. Fourth one, it is about social forces. Social forces, it is about the enlightenment, the growth of science, urbanization, colonialism, and globalization, French Revolution, Industrial Revolution. So it's about some important things that made them what they are. If we say, for example, French Revolution, it is happened in 70s, and it got people talking about democracy, equality, and the role of government. Thinkers like Auguste Comte were inspired by the ideas of the French Revolution and wanted to study society scientifically. Also, we can say about the growth of science in the 18th. Natural science like biology and chemistry were growing. This made sociologists want to use scientific methods to study. So also big changes was urbanization and social change. It was in 18th and 19th because of factories and jobs. This made sociologists like Emile Durkheim study how these changes affected people and society. Colonialism and urbanization. Colonialism and urbanization, it is about European countries took over other parts of the world and connected them to the global economy. This made sociologists look at how different cultures interact and how global forces affect local societies. So these big changes and many more shaped sociology theories. They gave sociologists the ideas and the reasons to study human societies and how they work. Thank you for your attention. Hello, my name is Amangilda Qıza Adema from the group SA2106. Today I will defend the second aspect